Blockbuster trade incoming, as this could be the biggest move for the Padres this deadline. Fans are excited. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another late night episode of Padres Digest. It is late, just got home from work. A lot of news is happening, and it's going to keep happening for the rest of the week, or at least till end of Thursday. So let's talk about probably the biggest move AJ Preller, forgot his name for a second. Sorry, I'm tired. AJ Preller is going to make. Before that, though, please subscribe as always, because we're going to post so much tomorrow. So there's a lot to stay up to date with. So just bear with us. Things are getting crazy. Mason Miller. You might know the name, but Padres are currently talking to the A's about a trade for Mason Miller per Jon Heyman. That's what Mason Miller looks like. He is the closer for the A's right now. One of the rising stars of baseball, I could say. And I'll show you some stats in a bit. But today, Mason Miller was not playing. Mason was unavailable today. That's all I can say from Mark Kotsay, the A's manager. Padres are in on Mason Miller. Last one, Padres are working on a trade with the Athletics to acquire right-handed pitcher Mason Miller per Jon Heyman. Heyman notes that this deal is not done, but the two sides are talking. Here's his stats right now. I know 376 doesn't look super sexy. He had a really bad month where he had like a 10 ERA, but that was just 1 month, right? And ERA is a very bloated stat because like a couple bad performances kind of screw you over, kind of like how Suarez is, right? But this man is an absolute beast. I'll talk about the implications. Yes, I said implications in a bit. I want to focus on what we could get for what this player or who the player is, right? So I have some articles I want to read for you guys real quick. Miller, this is from Dennis Lin and Ken Rosenthal from The Athletic. Miller, like Duran or Kwan, could come at a heavy cost. The 26-year-old right-hander is leading the major in average fastball velocity while earning just $765,000 this season. With 4 additional seasons of club control, the Padres this month sent 3 relievers to the All-Star game, but they are considering potential trades of one of those pitchers, closer Robert Suarez, who's making $10 million and can can opt out of his contract after the World Series. I'm exhausted. I'm so sorry. My brain is fried right now, but I'm getting these videos out for you. I'm determined and committed. Miller remains under team control for the next 4 seasons and is making just $765,000 this season. Also, sorry, this is from Angelina Martin from NBC Sports Bay Area. While owning one of the MLB's most dominant fastballs, despite the A's 47-63 record and last place status in the AL West, their flame-throwing closer is tied for 11th in the league with 20 saves. Whether or not Preller could pull off such a trade with A's GM David Frost is up in the air. While the team previously viewed Miller as untouchable, the A's might be inclined to move on from the former MLB All-Star if they receive a compelling offer from one of the league's top contenders, Rosenthal reported on July 21st. Per Rosenthal and Lin, San Diego's ability to land either Duran, Kwan, or Miller could hinge on their willingness to surrender DeVry. DeVry being our top prospect, who we do not want to give up. But AJ Preller is kind of dangling him a little bit, and that kind of annoys me because there's no way should we get rid of Leo DeVries, even for a pitcher like Mason Miller. And why do I say a pitcher like Mason Miller? Look at these stats. His average fastball velocity, 101 miles per hour. Robert Suarez can throw over 100. Mason Miller does it consistently. That's how good his fastball is. And again, you can see his fastball value is actually not that great. Below average. Breaking ball stuff is great. The reason the breaking ball stuff is great is because when you're seeing 100 miles per hour, it's hard to catch up to it already, right? But then he throws a changeup, and that thing is going 90 miles per hour, 10 mile per hour drop off, and your brain's like, what? And it's already filthy as is, right? So when you have a pitcher who had pitched that hard, he can set up a lot of different things. Kind of what we kind of wish Suarez does. And it's kind of why his changeup's a little bit, not super effective, but it's effective enough that it does a job. Because when you're throwing 100 and you toss off like a 80 mile per hour, 90 mile per hour fastball, or a changeup, sorry, that's going to confuse some people. So that's why his breaking stuff, in my opinion, is better. But his pitching run value is pretty much great. Off speed doesn't matter as much, right? I know I just said changeup, but changeup and off speed, but I include sliders in that conversation too. Sliders for me are slightly off speed. You know what I mean, right? Expected ERA is 2.83 right now. He's at a 3.76, so he should be pitching better than what he is right now. But I mean, everything's basically great. He does walk people. People do barrel off of him because Obviously, if you're throwing 100 miles per hour, you just got to slap the bat or slap the ball with the bat, and that thing will fly, right? Like we saw with what happened to Robert Suarez when he blew that slave. I did it again. Blew that save the other day. If you were there for the last time I said that, hi. Anyways, he's a really good pitcher, right? And we'll have him up until 2030. Obviously, he's going to be super expensive around like 29, 30 years old, right? But if we can somehow pull off this move, it'll be big. But let's talk about the implications, right? There's always the implications. So, why do we need Mason Miller? We don't, right? But this is how things can get creative. AJ Preller is the most creative GM in the league. Let's talk about how creative this move could make us. Wrong button. This one. Where were we? Here. Okay. Well, he doesn't want the Padres to get Mason Miller because he is like some of you guys maybe right now who are still confused as to why we would want Mason Miller. But here's why I think we want Mason Miller. First of all, A's also have Shea Langeliers, a catcher who has some control, is obviously better than what we have right now. He isn't like amazing or anything like that, but he's definitely better than what we have right now. So if we get 4.5 years of Mason Miller, a star closer, 3.5 years of Shea Langeliers, a solid to good enough catcher, and include arbitration, you could net a crazy haul. But again, super expensive. It's going to be super expensive. We're going to have to give up a top 10 prospect, probably, minimum, to get someone like this, right? But here's another creative thing we could do, which is what I thought when I originally saw us pursuing Mason Miller. Mason Miller to the Padres, Robert Suarez to the Yankees for a catcher/outfield. I see the vision. So yeah, if we're able to trade for Mason Miller, and this is kind of what I was talking about when we were talking about Anthony Bender the other day, the relief pitcher for the Marlins who's super good. If we're getting Mason Miller, and if we do get him, that pretty much means Robert Suarez is done with us. He'll probably be gone, right? And if we keep him, that's incredible. We're going to have the most insane bullpen, better than the Mets, who have just tried to build a super pen to compete with us. But yeah, I don't see the value in keeping Suarez if we're going to trade for a closer who will probably, can I say he's better than Suarez? I think I can, right? So why would you pay a guy $10 million to be your closer and then trade for someone to take his job? Unless you're going to trade Suarez to another team because he's gone anyways, right? So I think the vision here is that if we get Miller, which is still an if right now, if we get him, Suarez is gone, and we're going to use him to get back talent because we've seen the reliever market right now. It is absolutely insane. I mean, the Mets have been overpaying for closers and everyone else all across the league. Robert Suarez can net us not just prospects, but could get us solid major league talent. So I see the vision. Right? It's going to take a lot of finessing, a lot of work, a lot of phone calls, a lot of just pure caffeine-driven rage fests from AJ Preller. But I see the vision. There is a vision there. A very hard-to-get vision, but a vision. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think Mason Miller is a good move if we trade Suarez, or do you still want to keep Suarez if we get Mason Miller, or you just not want him at all? You're just like, no, absolutely not. Let me know how you feel, because I'm absolutely curious to hear how you guys feel. But yeah, thank you for watching. We're going to have so many videos tomorrow. Just be aware, we're going to go crazy tomorrow. So stick around for all those videos. Please subscribe for more content like that, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Or good morning, and whenever you're watching this. And welcome to craziness. Go Padres. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.